Good evening. We will call to order the City of Rockford's regularly scheduled City Council meeting for Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. This evening, we are fortunate that we have Chaplain Ken Henley to provide us with an invocation.
Let us pray. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Father, we ask tonight that you would be in this building, in this room, Lord, as they go about the city's business. May, Lord, your will be done and be done in a way that you would want it to be done. For your word says that we need to be decently and in order. So I pray now that you would touch the alderman, the mayor, and the leaders of the city, all those in charge of the departments of our city, the police department and fire department. We pray, Lord, that they be able to go about their business, taking care of the city, and keeping people safe from harm and danger. Guide us now, Lord, and direct us in all that's said and done. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Thunberg. Here. Frost. Here. Torina. Here. Wilkins. Here. Hoffman. Here. Granite. Here. Beach. Here. Salgado. Meeks. Here. Bell. Here. Bonnie. Here. 11 present.
Excellent. We have a quorum this evening. Is there a motion to approve the Journal of Proceedings for the City Council meeting held on December 1st of 2025? Second. We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Excellent. I don't know if we happen to have a microphone to do. All right, excellent. We do have a proclamation this evening, and we have a proclamation for Black History Month, and we are fortunate to have members of our employee resource group with us. So I'd have you come up, as well as we have the president of the NAACP, Wayne Turner, with us, if you'd like to come forward as well. Whereas in 1915, Dr. Carter G. Woodson founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, and in 1926 established Negro History Week, which later evolved into the nationally recognized observance of Black History Month in 1976. Whereas, since that time, Black History Month has been observed annually to inspire, to inform, and to educate our citizens about the history of Black Americans and the lasting contributions they have made to American life, culture, innovation, and civic leadership. And whereas each year during Black History Month, we discover a wealth of history that reflects the perseverance, resilience, and triumph of the human spirit, while honoring those whose stories were too often overlooked and even untold. And whereas this history is not only a vital part of Black history, but an essential part of American history. And we should set aside a special time to acknowledge and celebrate the achievements, heritage, and ongoing impact of African Americans in our state, in our city, as well as our nation. Now, therefore, I, Thomas P. McNamara, as the mayor of the city of Rockford, do hereby recognize and proclaim February 2026 to be Black History Month. Would anyone from our ERG like to say any words? All right. So we are fortunate this evening. Obviously, we've taken a moment of silence. We've had a proclamation in honor of the tragic passing of George Scott. We are fortunate this evening to have the president of the NAACP, Wayne Turner, with us. Mr. Turner, would you like to say a few words?
Here? Yeah. Okay. So, yes, thank you for that powerful proclamation and everything that you did in recognition of our dear George Scott and his passing and everything. As I step into this role, I do so with humility and respect for the legacy that was laid forth and the legacy that we continue to want to move on. So our branch must move forward, surviving and thriving. We'll strengthen our presence in the city of Rockford by expanding membership, engaging in our youth and building strong partnership with faith leaders, educators, small businesses, and elected officials. So we're going to focus on, I would say, 3 priorities and priorities. First is advocacy. We're looking for advocacy to be able to strengthen our partnerships with our brothers and sisters and all the entities around the cities and in the areas, making strong partnership, turning over every stone, we're turning a new leaf, making things happen in a positive step, positive move in our communities and in our surrounding areas. Second, we're looking for economic empowerment, supporting Black-owned businesses and pushing for equitable opportunities throughout the city. And third, one thing we're looking for, ownership, whether that be homes, whether it be businesses, and us coming together to do the things that we can to push things thriving, to make our communities a better and a safer place. So as the NAACP, Mr. President, I can't do this by myself. I'm going to need some of you leaders and some of our constituents, our fellow brothers and sisters, our neighbors, to join us in the fight that we push forward to make these things happen in a positive way. And if you can't do anything else, please have a membership, join a membership, and then attend one of our meetings and bring some of your expertise to our branch so that we can push these things forward in a positive and a meaningful way. Yours truly.
Thank you. And Chief Rep. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment of silence for the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson, if we could, please. Thank you, and I just want to, in the absence of the others not standing up and speaking for the ABLE group, I just want to say that I recognize we're all here because we stand on the shoulders of giants, those that have come before us, who have paved the way, and recognizing we're not where we should be, but thank God we're not where we used to be. So, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to petitions and communications, and we'll go to the Planning and Development Committee. And Alderwoman Wilkins.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item 1 is a memorandum from Sarah Lies, Community and Economic Development Director, regarding the 2026 funding agreement with the Greater Rockford Chamber of Commerce, referred to Planning and Development Committee.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Code and Regulation Committee, and Alderman Bonney.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 4 items, all referred to the Code and Regulation Committee. Item 1, Zoning Board of Appeals agenda for the meeting to be held on February 18th, and minutes from that meeting for consideration at the Code and Regulation Committee meeting on February 23rd, 2026. Item 2, Liquor and Tobacco Advisory Board's agenda for the meeting to be held on February 18th, 2026, and minutes from that meeting for consideration at the Code and Regulation Committee meeting on February 23rd, 2026. Item 3, memorandum from Martin Bloom, Project Manager, Permits and Special Events, regarding upcoming special events, which include the St. Patrick's Day Parade, Spruce Up Day 2026, Rockford Area Pride Parade, Lifescape 4th of July Classic, 4th of July festivities, and one table and open-air dining experience. And item 4, memorandum from Scott Capavilla, Planning and Zoning Manager, regarding plat number 5 of Perryville Promenade subdivision.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to Finance and Personnel Committee and Alderman Frost.
Thank you, Mayor. There are 5 items, and they will all be referred to the Finance and Personnel Committee. Number 1 is a memorandum from Ann Wilkerson regarding the sale of 2 Ford Explorers to BMO Police. Number 3 is a memorandum from Owen Carter regarding the approval and acceptance of the Homeless System Capacity Expansion Pilot Program. Number 4 is a memorandum from Jacob Rubin regarding a lien waiver request at 2213 Wentworth Avenue. Number 5 is a memorandum from Todd Cagnoni regarding an IGA for a 3-year property tax rebate program for newly built residential construction for single-family, townhome, 2-family, 3-family, and multifamily structures located in the city of Rockford and District 205. And number 6 is a memorandum from Todd Cagnoni regarding a proposed resolution to waive building plan review, building permit, building inspection, and water connection service fees for new residential construction structures on vacant land and lots throughout the city of Rockford. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Frost. Next, we're going to go to our public speakers. Our first public speaker this evening is Prophet Yusuf.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In the book of Psalms, the 37th chapter, the 23rd verse, it says, the steps of a righteous man is ordered by the Lord. What I want to speak about tonight, they say there's no talented African-American people in Rockford. That is a lie. I'm going to name some extraordinary talented African-American Rockford people tonight. Alderman Victory Bale, Alderwoman Ann Thompson, Alderwoman Benita Hervey, and all the African-American alderwomen and the African man. State Representative Letitia Wiley, State Representative Maurice West, Judge Yarbrough, Chief Colorado of the Rockford Police Department, Mr. Robert Bo Chaney, recruiter for the Rockford Fire Department, Miss Pyham, Director of the Human Service Department, Miss Mary, who worked for the Human Service Department, Miss Sheila, who works in the City Legal Department, Mr. Fran Van Fleet, businessman, Mr. Tommy Meeks, a businessman and a community activist, Dr. Washington, Mr. Matt Simpson, a businessman, Mr. Matt Simpson, brother Joshua Pass, Mr. Dwayne Collins, a businessman, Mr. Mike Williams, educator, businessman, Mr. Omar, businessman, Apostle Melvin Brown, his wife, Prophet Sheila Brown, Pastor Perry Benny, Pastor Copeland, Pastor Lewis Malone, Pastor Alexander, Reverend Earl Johnson Sr., Earl Johnson's son, educator, Mr. Donald Thompson, community activist, his wife, Rosie Thompson, a community activist, brother Yakola, Muhammad minister, his wife, Lavina, Muhammad educator, brother Henry David, teacher, his wife, Kinshanda, a teacher, Minister William Muhammad, Mr. Denzel, community activist, Pastor Elvis Fitt, businessman, Miss Brandy Candy, Bob, businesswoman, Mr. Chris Green, news reporter, Mr. L.C. Wilson, businessman, Miss Christie, supervisor for Rockford Man, Mr. Cedric, supervisor for Rockford Man, Mr. James, supervisor for Rockford, Mr. Risa Brown, secretary for Rockford Man, Mr. Jarvis, bus driver for Rockford Man, Miss Chris Reedy, teacher, Miss Virgil, counselor for Rockford School, Miss Irma Mayfree, she good at cooking chicken, I love her chicken, Miss Kim Rayford, good at baking cakes. Mr. Coach, who helps the students at Auburn High School. Also a Vietnam veteran. Mr. Willie Evans, decorated Vietnam veteran. Mr. Don Ellis, decorated Vietnam veteran. And all the other Vietnam veterans I didn't speak about. And all the other ministers I didn't speak about. My wife, Glendine Jerry. I saved the best for last, me. A retired United States veteran of the United States Navy. I did 19 years, 11 months, 29 days, 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 15 seconds. I did 3 tours in that hellhole in Vietnam. I'm a decorated, proud river rat. I'm a retired teacher, a retired truck. I'm a gentleman of the highway, a knight of the road. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Our next public speaker this evening is Paul Foss.
Hello. My name's Paul. I'm here as a longtime resident, concerned resident. And I understand tonight that the council is here to vote whether or not to award $200,000 to the development of a McDonald's on the west side. I understand these funds, much like the regrow funds, were to be used to improve the community. I don't understand why municipal government would even entertain the idea of putting $200,000 into the pockets of the largest property developer in the area to secure a deal with the largest corporation in the world. Sneal and McDonald's don't need $200,000, but the citizens of Rockford do. It will undoubtedly affect the existing Ma and Pa restaurants, which were built without a $200,000 grant from the casino. These include Shiro's, Image Lounge, Subway, 815 Kitchen and Grill, El Chorrito, Latham West, Mr. C's, The Catch. Those are 10 restaurants that are within a quarter mile of this proposed building site. And this is all supposed to be to alleviate a food desert. You're not alleviating that, you're giving them an easier way to get bad food. It's not going to provide jobs, it'll provide the lowest quality jobs and the lowest quality food at the same time. And it's also worth noting that members of this council have accepted contributions from both the Puri family and McDonald's. We need to take citizens seriously and stop corporate control of our municipal government.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next public speaker is Lisa Jackson.
There was a recent post on social media about the development of the senior center to be located in East Rockford. 2 current city council members commented under the post, and while I found both of their comments to be in poor taste, there was one council member's comments that were more distasteful to me. I'm going to read 2 of their comments. The first will be in its entirety, and the second will be in part. By her people, it was meant her ward, just as I often refer to my ward as my people, my constituents, or sometimes my neighbors. My community is 48% minority, and I represent all of them. It is you who jumped to the conclusion that I meant something else. She held up a map to show how it would affect her ward. This was never a discussion on race. At no time did she ever refer to trying to figure out about access to her people. Did she ever say, the blacks of the West Side? It was always about her ward. Your assumption was incorrect. Apology accepted. And so for context, the she is City Council Member Meeks. The second comment. Also, people of East Rockford, and I'm assuming that's a typo, Rockford, have been trying to get a center for a few years. If you are a Rockfordian or you know anything about Rockford, you know that the river divides us. Mostly white people live east of it, mostly black people live west of it. It's a real-life representation of the have and have-nots. Ms. Hoffman regarded mostly white people who live east of the river as the people of Rockford, and black people who live west of the river as the blacks of the West Side. Her choice of words to define black people was deliberate, dismissive, degrading, dehumanizing, and synonymous of an othering racist term used in the Jim Crow era to define black people, the coloreds. As a former elected official, I was very mindful of my presence in public spaces, including social media. I didn't need a constituent or a community member to attend a school board member to address me about the inappropriateness of my actions or my words, and quite honestly, neither should any of you.
Thank you. Our next public speaker this evening is Tamika Brown.
Good evening, Mayor McNamara, our council members, and also our community, our neighbors. My name is Tamika Brown. I come before you as a mental health and a holistic health advocate, and also as a neighbor who cares deeply about the West Side and the families of the 13th Ward. I want to begin by thanking Alderman Bell for his openness and for always being willing to answer questions and bring clear understanding to our community. That type of leadership is exactly what our community needs. We are seeing new development interests on our west side, including the McDonald's project at Springfield and West State. I want to acknowledge both sides of that situation. Although it may bring economic growth, it may bring jobs, and it may also signal some confidence as far as building on the west side of our town, all of which can be useful building blocks for a broader renewal. At the same time, it's important to be clear that a fast food outlet, however welcome as an economic activity, does not solve the urgent problem of food insecurity. Fast food cannot replace reliable access to affordable, fresh, nutritious groceries that support long-term health. I ask us to view this moment as a segue, an opportunity to channel new attention and resources towards projects that truly nourish residents. Our ultimate goal should be a full-service brick-and-mortar grocery store on the west side of town, a permanent place where families can purchase fresh produce and have culturally relevant things to choose from, and a healthy pantry items at affordable prices. A grocery store would create stable jobs, anchor further investment, and support healthier outcomes for our community. Until we reach that goal, the mobile grocery store can be a meaningful and positive step in the right direction. A well-designed mobile market brings fresh fruits and vegetables and culturally appropriate food directly to our neighbors who may lack reliable transportation. If it accepts SNAP and WIC, also it will offer nutritious education and cooking demonstrations, and partner with regional farmers and prioritize local hiring. Success will require teamwork. I urge the City Council to support a community advisory board, residents, public health experts, faith leaders, and small businesses, as well as city staff, to guide routes, hours, product selection, and hiring. Let us set measurable goals. Households served, pounds of fresh produce distributed, SNAP, WIC transactions, and local hires, and report this progress back to the community. Let the McDonald's, if it happens, be the start of a...
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Our next speaker is Dennis Littlejohn.
Good evening, everyone. I, too, am here for the hot topics that's in the news, the $200,000 incentive for the McDonald's, and then also the senior center. I'm no senior, so I'm not quite interested in looking into moving the place, but it is affecting the community and the seniors. I do try to stay civically engaged as a young person, and that did, sort of catch my attention. And of course, the McDonald's, I grew up on the west side, spent a lot of time with my grandparents. Someone had mentioned the local ma and pop shops that used to be along West 8th Street. If you go down West 8th Street now, it's barren, it's nothing. So I think that we could do a little better than giving an incentive of $200,000 to a McDonald's when a lot of our kids don't have healthy food to eat. So we give you a McDonald's, we give you a burger, let's teach them some of the things that can sustain their life. And then better yet, it's just not a good look where we have the dialysis center right there. So, but I'm not here to beat a dead horse. While I was at work and throughout the week, you can ask my wife, I was just ranting and talking about this, like, just going off. Like I said, I like to stay civically engaged. But some of the questions that I have is, what about, I noticed in some of the articles that I read is that this could provide like 50 to 60 jobs, but can a grocery store do the same thing? And then the city of Rockford has this health initiative that the mayor had mentioned about, and I don't think that McDonald's is the healthiest option. Yeah, I can go get a salad, I can go get a McChicken without the mayo, I can get a sandwich without the bread, but we got to give the people tools for success. And I don't think that this is the best tool in our tool bag. I'm not going to stay up here any much longer, but you know, as a young person here in Rockford that hope that other young people can be civically engaged, I guess you can say I'm speaking for the young people. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all of our public speakers this evening. Next, I'm going to move into our new committee reports and go to Planning and Development Committee and Alderwoman Wilkins.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item 1, committee recommends approval of the preliminary conditional set-aside letter, which would lead to the rental development agreement with the owner of Rock River One Apartments. The funding source is the Home Investment Partnerships Program and the Community Development Block Grant.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the item before you? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Logeman. Thunberg. Frost. Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granite. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. 13 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to Code and Regulation Committee and Alderman Bonnie.
Thank you, Mayor. We have one item. Committee recommends approval of plat number 2 of Puri West State Subdivision located at 41XX West State Street.
Thank you. Any discussion on the one item before us? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Logeman. Thunberg. Frost. Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granite. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. 13 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to Finance and Personnel Committee and Alderman Frost.
Thank you, Your Honor. Number 1, the committee recommends approval of vouchers in the amount of $9,842,897.49 as approved at the Finance and Personnel Committee meeting held on February 9th. Number 2, the committee recommends approval of lien waivers for trustee properties to facilitate transfer of the properties from the Winnebago County trustee to bidders in the total amount of $4,634.25. The properties are at 517 Knowlton Street, 3904 Preston Street, and 3122 18th Street. Number 3, the committee recommends approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the city and Rockford Public Schools for vacation of an existing right-of-way to RPS 205 for the construction of revised access to Lincoln Middle High School from Charles Street as part of the city's 11th Street Phase 2 project and reimbursement of improvement costs by RPS 205. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, any discussion on those items? Alderman Bonnie.
Thank you. I'd like to lay over item 3, please.
We have a motion, we have a second, so that's been automatically laid over. Is there any discussion on items 1 or 2? Clerk, will you please call the roll on items 1 and 2?
Logeman. Thunberg. Frost. Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granite. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. 13 ayes for items 1 and 2.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to unfinished business committee reports laid over, and we'll go to Planning and Development Committee and Alderwoman Wilkins.
Item 1, committee recommends approval of the funding agreement and lease agreement for 713 East State Street, Someway Building for Rockford Area Arts Council for 2026 through 2028 in the amount of $125,000 annually for the total amount of $375,000. The funding source is the city's redevelopment fund.
Thank you. We have one item before us. Is there any discussion? Alderman Thunberg.
Thank you, Mayor. We just received the profit and loss statements on Friday, also in addition to the balance sheet. I would like to make a motion to lay over. I know there's a few of us on council. I'm not the only one that would like to look further into that. So I would like to make that motion.
So we have a motion to lay over. Is there a second? We have a second. Is there any discussion on the layover?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Alderman Toomey.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mayor. You know, I don't know if, I have no issues in talking to individuals regarding some of these questions that I may have. I don't know if it would be easier to, you know, I know other individuals may have questions as well. So, you know, I know we have other boards that come before council.
Yep.
So I don't know if it would be, just throwing that out there, if that would be easier, if they did come before council where we could ask in the public domain, if that would be easier for them actually than to take a multitude possibly of individual calls and asking the same questions maybe. So I wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have a motion and we have a second to lay over. Is there any discussion on the layover of the one item? Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Logeman. Aye. Thunberg.
Aye.
Frost. Aye. Turina. Aye. Prunty. Aye. Wilkins.
Aye.
Hoffman.
Aye.
Granite. Aye. Beach. Aye. Salgado. Meeks. Aye. Bell. No. Bonnie. 11 ayes, 2 noes.
Excellent, thank you. Next, we have officers' reports. Any reports from council members? Alderwoman Hoffman?
Thank you, Mayor. A comment was just made about something I had said on Facebook. The first part was taken out of context. The second part, I never said. Those were not my words. If anybody would like to see what was actually said, they can go to Mark Bonney's Facebook page and read it for themselves. So thank you.
Thank you. Alderwoman Turina?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to make Fifth Ward residents aware that there is an upcoming ward meeting. It is Wednesday, March 11th, and that meeting is at 5:30. The location has changed. It is now at Clem Arboretum, and that address is 2715 South Main Street. So I look forward to seeing residents there for our meeting. We haven't met since December, so I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. While I do have the floor, I do just want to address Director Sanders. I did request maybe about 6 weeks ago at this point to get a report regarding the LT construction program in the streets that we've completed for the city. I have yet to receive that, so I just wanted to just give you a reminder that I'm still looking for that report. If you could please assist me with that, I'd really appreciate it.
We'll get you that this week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Beach, or real quick, I'm sorry, Alderwoman Turina, did I cut you off?
No, I'm finished.
Okay. Alderman Beach?
Thank you, Your Honor. This past Saturday was the judging of the 40th Annual Snow Sculpting Competition. So just a moment to say thank you to the Park District who undertakes that venture and a host of community businesses and volunteers to make that thing happen. And kids from the schools and state contestants come in to bring, and I remembered, can I take just one more second? I guess I won't do that, but anyway, the sun was shining and the sculptures were melting, but if you got up there with your car, you can see the work and the skill of the artists. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And thank you for your involvement over the years and actually help bringing it here, so thank you. Alderwoman Meeks, did you have your hand raised? No. Any other reports? Alderman Thunberg.
Thanks, Mayor. I will second what Alderman Beach said on the snow sculpting. I was happy to take your spot on that second award there for the Mayor's Award. It was, yeah, fantastic seeing a lot of these same groups, people from out of state coming in for this. And also, so great event, and Alderman Beach, thank you for all your work that you've done on that throughout the years. The AHL All-Star Game, fantastic. I had the privilege to go both nights, and this was really a great way to highlight our city from people all throughout the country, not only visitors, but players as well. The work that has gone into the BMO Center that we have all voted on and have assisted in the subsidization of. You really, when you walk in the BMO now, it is a whole different venue than it was last year. So if you haven't been in there, please get in there for whatever reason. But now with the digital capabilities that we have within the BMO, I mean, it'll rival most arenas around the country. My understanding is there are only a few arenas that have some of the capabilities that we have at this moment. So it really was a great way to highlight the city of Rockford, and fantastic job by the Ice Hogs, the team there, the management team, everyone involved, the rave individuals there with ASM Global, now Legacy Global. Yeah, great job by all putting that together. So, thank you.
Yeah, just would second that. If you haven't had the opportunity to go to BMO recently, certainly do so. There's a whole new life and energy within the building. Would just second all the incredible thank yous to so many who made those festivities possible and all the work that they've put into the BMO Center. I'm sorry, Alderwoman Tarina, and then there was another, Alderwoman Wilkins.
Yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Coleman Yards. Quite honestly, I haven't stopped moving since 8 o'clock this morning, so I haven't really had a chance to actually even process today or what I want to say, because I typically, when I speak, I speak when I have something to say. So I do want to let my residents know that I absolutely will have commentary about that, and we will certainly have great discussion about that at the next board meeting. So any questions that you have, they will be answered at that meeting for you as well.
Wonderful, thank you. Alderwoman Wilkins.
Thank you, Your Honor. I wanted to give a shout out to Fatherhood United and TC Bill, who has been keeping me updated on what that organization is doing. They're holding their first of many series tonight, Dinner with Dad at 6 o'clock, which just started a few minutes ago, down at Northwest Community Center. So I wanted to just give a shout out to them with what they're doing. And just, like I said, keeping me in the loop of things. I also wanted to give a shout out to Chief Tayo and a few members of her team, Officers Josh Hofflin, Sam McNames, and Landon McKnight, who responded to a pretty chaotic situation this past week and displayed a healthy level of professionalism and definitely brought some calmness to a, like I said, chaotic situation. So I just wanted to give them a big shout out publicly for their work and everything that they did for us this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other reports? Okay, thank you. Next, we're going to, well, the appointments are laid over. Both of those will be laid over until the first council meeting after March 4th. Then we'll go to motions and resolutions. We have nothing under Planning and Development or Code and Regulation Committee, so we'll go to Finance and Personnel Committee, and Alderman Frost.
Thank you. Number one, the committee recommends approval and award of sole source contract for flock safety to Flock Group in the amount of $443,998.16. It's a one-year contract with 3 additional one-year extension options. The funding sources are the Organized Retail Crime Grant and the Rockford Police Department Intel Unit budget. Number two, the committee recommends approval and award of a sole source contract for loose equipment and supplies to Air One Equipment in the estimated amount of $300,000 based on unit pricing. It's a one-year contract. The funding source is the Fire Department operating budget. Number three, the committee recommends approval and award of non-competitive contract for wheel lifts to Gray Manufacturing in the amount of $60,673. It's a one-time purchase. The funding source is the 2026 gaming revenue, tax revenue. Number four, the committee recommends approval of an award of RFP for towing and storage to the Greater Rockford Auto Auction. There are no direct costs to the city for towing and storage services. It's a one-year contract with 4 additional one-year extension options. Number five, the committee recommends approval of an award of joint purchase contract for sidewalk de-icers and ice melt bag salt to Warehouse Direct in an estimated amount of $40,000. It's a one-year contract with 3 additional one-year extension options. The funding source is the Property Fund operating budget. Number six, the committee recommends approval of award of joint purchase contract for Ford OEM automotive parts and supplies to Brad Manning Ford an estimated amount of $75,000. This contract is through December 31, 2026, with 2 possible annual extension options. The funding source is the Central Garage Fund. Number 7, the committee recommends approval of award joint purchase contract for 2026 light-duty citywide vehicles and enterprise fleet management in the amount of $701,269. This contract duration is a 60-month term. The funding sources are various divisions' capital lease budgets. Number 8, the committee recommends approval and award of joint purchase contract for communication equipment to GenCom in the amount of $75,975.60. This is a one-time purchase. The funding source is the Fire Department capital budget. Number 9, the committee recommends approval and award of joint purchase contract for ambulances to McQueen Equipment in the amount of $423,555. This is a one-time purchase. The funding sources are the capital lease funds and the Fire Department capital budget. Number 10, the committee recommends approval of an engineering agreement for land acquisition of 11th Street corridor improvements for the IDOT section, the Crawford Murphy Tilly, in the supplemental amount of $369,267 for a new contract not to exceed $1,198,370. The contract duration is through 2026. The funding source is the 1% infrastructure sales tax. Number 11, the committee recommends approval of engineering agreement for supplement number 2, land acquisition for the 11th Street corridor improvements for the city section to Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly in a supplemental amount of $242,789 for a new contract not to exceed amount of $2,366,043. The contract duration is through is through 2026. The funding source is the 1% infrastructure sales tax. And number 12, the committee recommends approval of an engineering agreement, supplement number 1, land acquisition for Auburn Street improvements to Crawford, Murphy, Tilly in a supplemental amount of $121,286 for a new contract not to exceed amount of $1,006,661. The funding source is the general fund from the 2022 surplus. I place these 12 matters before you.
Thank you. Council, we have 12 items before us. Any discussion on those 12 items? Alderwoman Meeks.
I'd like to discuss item number 1 for the flock cameras, flock safety. I've gotten quite a bit of feedback already related to this item. There's some concern related to the sharing of data, potential unlawful use of the license plate readers. And so what I'd like to do is have an opportunity to review the user agreement before we move forward, just to ensure that the proper language is there. There's already been some activity through the Secretary of State. The ACLU has posted articles. So to have that time, I would like to make a motion to lay over item number 1.
We have a motion. We have a second to lay over item 1. Is there any discussion? Alderwoman Trina, you have discussion on the layover? Okay, Alderwoman Trina.
I just want to support the layover. I also have received phone calls and emails today concerning this, so I would like to just do some due diligence on the item before we would move forward with it as well.
Thank you. So we have a motion, we have a second on the layover. Is there any other further discussion on just a layover of item 1? All those in favor of laying over item 1, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item 1's been laid over. Next, we will go to the remainder of the items, which is items 2 through 12. Is there any discussion on those items? Clerk, please call the roll.
Logeman. Aye. Thunberg. Aye. Frost. Torina. Aye. Prunty. Aye. Wilkins. Aye. Hoffman. Aye. Granite. Aye. Beach. Aye. Salgado. Aye. Meeks. Aye. Bell. Aye. Bonnie. Items 2 through 9, 13 ayes. Item 10, 12 ayes, 1 no. Item 11, 12 ayes, 1 no. Item 12, 13 ayes.
Nick, I think you're doing a fantastic job this evening, so thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on you tonight. Yeah. Now, if you can keep up with this next conversation, we're all doing good. Okay, thank you though, Nick, appreciate you. Next is City Council item. We had a motion to reconsider ordinance 2026-24-0, approving the amendment to the development agreement with First Midwest Group, McChesney Investment LLC, and McDonald's for the establishment of a McDonald's at 4103 West State Street, and the amount of $200,000. The funding source is a 2025 casino plan funds / economic development high-risk area. At our last meeting, we had a motion by Alderwoman Hoffman, a second by Alderman Bell for reconsideration. Before you this evening, initially, is a vote on do you want to have this item reconsidered. If you vote yes, you are saying yes, I want to have this item reconsidered. If you vote no, you are saying I do not want to reconsider this item. Want to make sure I'm uber clear on that one. Is there discussion? We have a motion and second already out there, so now it's just open for your discussion. Alderwoman Torino.
I have a question. So I think there's a narrative that this development would go forward without this money. And I need to understand, is that a true narrative, that if this money does not get approved, that this development now dies? Or does it, it's like, again, the narrative is that whether or not we approve it or not, the money, that this development will move forward. Is that a true statement?
Mr. Cagnone.
Thank you, Your Honor. I can provide you with the information that we have related to the project. So the project has gone through the due diligence process of getting the zoning approval. They've submitted their building plans and have paid for their building permit. And concurrent with that, the subdivision plat is going through the approval process and was approved this evening. Whether the project advances or not, absent this agreement, I can't fully answer that question.
Okay, thank you.
Alderwoman Prunty.
I think I came after Alderman Bell.
Get him right next. Go for it.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You got Bell next.
How often, I kind of think we don't do this very often, where we reconsider after having said yes to giving someone funding. How often does that happen? I just don't remember us doing this very often.
I would say it is rare that we have motions to reconsider. I would say, so I'll only speak from 2013. I would say from 2013 to 2017, I don't recall an item being reconsidered. I would say from 2017 through today, I recall maybe 4. So I would say it's rare. And if I'm absolutely misspeaking, please, anyone add to it that's been here. I'll come to you next. Any other further questions?
I'll wait and hear a few more. Thank you.
Alderman Bell.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. I just want to go back to the comment that the 5th Ward Alderwoman made a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago, and then the response from our City Administrator, Mr. Cagnone, about whether or not this development will go through with or without the incentive to the developer. If I could recall, a few weeks ago, I think a week and a half ago, you got on Facebook and made a video about this going through with or without. And so I just maybe turn this question to you to give us more insight if maybe you have more information.
Yeah, I don't know if I have more information. My thought process, Alderwoman Trina and Alderman Bell and anyone else, is at the time that this council made the vote, it had went through the permit process and paid their permit fees. I rarely see development who comes forward and goes through that process and pays their fees, that does not end up happening. And so my opinion was that, yes, it would happen anyway.
Awesome. And just so that we can get more clarity, there is a representative from the developing agency. Are we able to have Mr. Keys answer that question, kind of share with us from their perspective of how we could move forward, if they are able to move forward with or without the incentive?
So we are able to do that. It would take the majority of city council to agree to have him speak, and I would be happy to see if the council would be willing to have him speak at council. We don't need to take a vote for that. I can do a simple hand raise. Is that fair? We can do discussion over the question of if we should have someone speak, yes. Is there any discussion over Alderman Bell's question of just simply allowing someone to speak or answer the question, right?
Thank you.
Okay. Please raise your hand if you are willing to have a representative of First Midwest Group speak to answer Alderman Bell's question. Okay. I would say that's a majority. So Mr. Keys, that back microphone will be on. I would just ask that you answer just the questions that are asked to you.
Sure.
So Alderman Bell had a question about, I think you heard it, but do you believe, or why or why not you believe the development would or would not go forward?
So there's a couple of parts to this that I will help provide the context to answer the question. And if the question is this a done deal, the answer is no. McDonald's is still in their due diligence process. They have the ability to walk away from the project. For whatever, any reason they want to. But McDonald's isn't a part of the incentive, that this isn't an incentive for them. So this vote I don't believe would have any impact whatsoever on whether McDonald's wants to go forward with the project. McDonald's also requires things from us, which we have not given them in anticipation of going through this process and getting the approvals that we need in order to get the incentives. Now, so we could walk away or we could terminate the contract by not providing McDonald's with the things that they need in order for their project to move forward, which includes an easement over the adjacent parcel that we don't have, that we have to get DeVita's approval on, all kinds of things that we have not given them to date. But the additional part of this that I think needs context is because the city council voted and approved our incentive, I have made commitments, me calling them and saying, hey, we're ready to move forward with the easements that you need to move this project forward because we've gotten what we need. So we've made that commitment to them directly. I have not papered that. That is not a legally binding agreement, but by doing all of this, you put me in a position where I've either got to do one of two things. I either have to go back to McDonald's after making commitments to them, McDonald's we have other deals with, we have other relationships with, a broker that represents them that represents more than just McDonald's, they're a large national broker, and putting our reputation at risk because we're walking back on a commitment we made to them. Or I don't walk back on that commitment to them and I eat a project that we wouldn't have otherwise done absent the incentive. So that's the position by making this motion to reconsider we're being put in as developers here in this community, being here 40 years. We've never been through something like this. I've had discussions with Sunil. He's beside himself that we're being put in this position, and I don't think it's fair for us, but we are where we are, but that's the honest answer. I can't tell you today. I can tell you there were no commitments made to have to actually move this forward prior to you guys voting. After you voted, we move forward because time kills deals. So that's, I think, the answer to the question as best as I can give it.
Yeah, thank you. Any other discussion? Alderman Bell?
I do have another question for Mr. Keys, if the council would allow.
They did.
Okay. So, Mr. Keys, how do you think that having this development occur at the corner of West State and Springfield would affect the commercial viability of the immediate area? How do you see us moving forward with future development in that area?
Mr. Keys?
So, I mean, from our perspective, there's a couple of things that go into play. the city has a 30-acre or so parcel that the city has invested, I believe, millions of dollars in immediately adjacent to this. That was a development that failed, that somebody else had done. And one of the things that I can tell you is that traffic is a necessary thing for a development to happen. And having somebody like a McDonald's at this location will bring hundreds of cars every single day, as opposed to a user who's going to be a destination use, like a furniture store. You might go once a year. Quick service restaurant, it's going to be hundreds of cars. It's going to be repeat traffic. It's going to bring people to that corridor that will see the adjacent property, that will give that a much likelier chance of developing. I can't promise anything. What I can tell you is that's why we talked about doing a project that wasn't economically feasible for us and looking for an incentive, is because there were other parts to this that may have made sense for the community. And you guys can agree or disagree whether that's the appropriate way to do it, but one is retail traffic. Traffic is what is necessary. This is an advertisement for that adjacent property. Number two is, I'd say, synergy. Commercial retail development is herd-like. You hear if you build it, they will come. You see a McDonald's, when you get it's one thing if it's something, a small thing that nobody knows about, builds there, doesn't have much impact, but a McDonald's, there are brokers who follow every McDonald's deal, and they go to their clients with, hey, McDonald's has gone here, this corridor is viable, do you want to go here? So those are what I think impacts the surrounding properties and the benefit to the city beyond this one individual parcel that impacts the viability of what the city has already invested in that corridor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? So we have two, Alderman Thunberg, Alderman Meeks.
Thank you, Mayor. We brought this up for vote previously, and it passed on a 9-4 vote. Myself, along with three others, were on the no side. I felt I had done a fair amount of looking at all angles, the due diligence and such. And I imagine most of you, if not all, did the same thing. So I respect your votes. I respect you as fellow aldermen. My point here is that as I may vote to have the motion to reconsider due to parliamentary procedure, but I think just, again, my point is the motion to reconsider, like the mayor said, you thought maybe 4 times. I thought maybe in my 9 years here, it sometimes feels like 40, is that I think we've done it 2 or 3 times at least, so maybe 4.
That could be right, too.
But it's not often done, and I think the big one we all remember is Barbara Coleman, but some of the others, so my point is just, we don't do it often. And I do not want to see this council get in the habit, which I don't think we will, but just putting that out there is that I just think when we vote, most of us, if not all, have done our due diligence. Vote what you believe is best for your constituents and for the betterment of the whole city as a whole. Stick to it, defend it if necessary. But I realize there are times where this will come about, and I respect the individuals bringing this up, but you know, just keeping in mind going forth, let's not try to do this often, because I don't think it's beneficial for the community, or I think Mr. Keys pointed out maybe you know, developers coming here and looking and thinking maybe a city council could, you know, approve, then flip and such, so that's, thank you.
Thank you. Alderwoman Meeks?
So much. So I just wanted to say, from the beginning of the conversation, I just had apprehensions about the precedents that this would set if we were giving this funding in this way without, I feel like, language that really spoke to more high-risk neighborhoods on the west side of town. But outside of that, I am curious because we just laid over the Arts Council item, and some of the conversation was about the profit and loss and the 990s that we were able to review. And I guess I have a question for you, Director Haggerty. What would be the equivalent of a 990 for a for-profit business?
Director Haggerty?
My expertise is at the government level, so I don't have a clear answer for that question. But without the business being, we're able to get that information from the Arts Council because they've been operating for some time. You know, certainly this would be a new business where, you know, we would ask for copies of things like tax returns to evaluate an existing business, but this would be a new endeavor for First Midwest Group. So I don't know that those types of documents would exist yet.
Okay. I just wondered because, you know, we're talking about giving away funding to the Arts Council. We look and dig in deep to find out what their financial position is, and I don't see us doing the same thing for for-profit businesses in this community. So I have an issue with that, and I think that the people have spoken within this community. I don't have people beating down my door begging for us to give McDonald's $200,000 or First Midwest Group. I just don't have that kind of conversation going on with my residents. It's actually the exact opposite. So I just think I agree with Alderman Thunberg, and that doesn't happen very often, but I do agree with him in the sense that we should stick with you know, how we want to move forward so we don't keep having to do it like this. But I definitely think this is one of those situations where we should have. I appreciate Alderman Hoffman for having the courage to do it, and I look forward to us having another vote. Thank you.
With you and Alderman Thunberg agreeing, we may have to invite Nick back.
I'm telling you, pigs are flying. Pigs are
All right,
flying.
I'm sorry. Alderman Beach.
Thank you, Your Honor. Economic development is more than a buzzword. And I don't care how much money a person has, when they make a decision to invest in our community, I want to say thank you very much for deciding to stay in Rockford. Because there's lots of other places by the name of Machesty Park, Loves Park, Belvedere, or any other place in this state or in this country. And I also want to make a statement that when we place a vote, that vote has consequences straight down the line. And we've heard some of that this evening by the fact that because we did vote, right, wrong, I'm not making any discussion there. You had the right to do that, I had the right to do that. But the developer went out and made a commitment based on our vote that now we have put that burden on their back, right or wrong, and I get very, very tender about when we put developer's name and start to say, well, they got money. What does money have to do with it at this point in time? It's a commitment to Rockford. It's a commitment to the sales tax that will generate from that project, the property tax that will generate from that project, the jobs that we produce in that project. It's called economic development and commitment. And I haven't seen in the last 9 years or 19 years any movement to build that corner, to bring growth to that corner. I've not seen that. Used to be a school out there. And so here we brought another possibility. Now I know you say you don't like McDonald's. Well, I like the fish fillet, it tastes good. But we joke with that, but there's truth to that. And when I was growing up, McDonald's type restaurants was kind of like the entry level. Teach young people how to work, how to come to work, take responsibility. Now, you can go to a restaurant, jobs such as this, as you well know, and get a 401k, get life insurance, health insurance, and make somewhere between $16 and $17, $18 an hour. That could become a lifeline for many. But anyway, enough talk from my end of it. I just want to say, let's be grateful for those people who continue to want to invest in our community. That's, I guess, the message I'm trying to bring. And we made a vote on it. And our development took our word and went to move forward on it. And now there's a possibility, if you want to bring it back to reconsider, I will not support to reconsider that vote. But if that goes, there's consequences to that. So thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Fossil, for letting me talk on like Thunberg, and I'll be done. Where, is he in the room? Oh, my God. I thought he was there. I thought he was in a room.
He just got burned by Alderman Beach. So is there any other discussion? Right now, we are, yep, Alderwoman Prunty.
I know there's a number to this as well, but if somebody can help me out, how often do we do development agreements? Every week? Okay, I just wanted to.
I mean,
I was just making a point.
yeah,
Okay.
sometimes numerous times.
Yeah. So, and the reason why and when we did this one, when we agreed to this one, were there multiple that we did that day too? Can you remember those that we did that day as well?
I don't know if there were multiple development agreements the evening that this was approved or not. Oh, well, we had the senior center. Was there any others that evening? I'd have to go back and look.
In the past 2 or 3 weeks within the time we did this, there were others though, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so I guess I'm just a little bit concerned. Well, let me just ask you this. Do we do these development agreements, do we typically deny development agreements or developers because they are wealthy?
I would ask you guys that. You're the ones who are voting on almost all of them. That would be up to you. When we do development agreements,
people are saying.
When we're doing development agreements, we're not typically talking about their wealth. And Mr. Cagnoni, anything you want to add to that?
I would agree. We evaluate projects on their own merits, not in regards to the wealth of the applicant may or may not have.
Thank you. I only asked because that's what my calls were about, that some people were concerned that somehow the wealth that the developer had meant that the developer should be denied. And I'm concerned that that someone would think that because, I mean, I couldn't do a development agreement and I couldn't bring anything like this because I don't have any resources. So I was concerned that people were more concerned about the wealth that somebody already had versus what this project could mean to the community. So I just wanted to hear us say that we don't typically deny people because they are rich.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Alderman Beld and Alderman Bonney.
Sure. Thank you, Your Honor. Want to touch on something that I've heard through this process since our last vote 2 weeks ago as it relates to our food insecurity policy. Maybe Mr. Cagnoni, I'll toss this one to you. Should this incentive not go to the developer tonight? what alternative plans does the administration have to spend these dollars that would then be available? Do you guys have a plan to align these $200,000 to a development or project that would align with the food insecurity policy that this council passed?
Mr. Cagnoni?
Thank you, Your Honor. And Alderman Bell, you are correct. Staff had recommended denial of this proposal. The City of Rockford first went into a development agreement with First Midwest Group on this property in 2017. It was a tax increment financing district that the property's in, and it allowed the developer to capture the increment on a pay-as-you-go basis, so 100% of the increment generated off the development of the property would go back to the developer as part of gap financing for the project. This subsequent amendment would be an amendment to utilize the $200,000 of casino funds, understanding that it's under consideration by council. No, it's, there hasn't been a project specifically identified related to how those $200,000 could be utilized. Could it be utilized for food insecurity? Certainly, and as you're aware, we've been in conversations related to a mobile grocery store that the dollars could be identified for to help move that forward. But as we've discussed in the past, I don't think it's a but-for conversation, but an and conversation. If our city council is looking to advance forward a project, this project or another project, we will help solve that problem. So I wouldn't say it's a but-for in this particular situation. We're going to continue to move forward as an and how can we move the community forward?
I appreciate that. Last, I think 2 weeks ago now, have had conversations with individuals around this chamber, in this chamber, about doing the and, both, addressing the lack of economic development and new construction on the west side, at the same time addressing the food insecurity issue that we have across our community. And I think and am a strong advocate for addressing food insecurity. I believe that the people of the 13th Ward sent me here to address the food insecurity issue, but at the same time we can address the lack of economic development that we've really just not had on the west side. And so I think this gives us an opportunity, and it has over the last few weeks, and really now 2 months, discussing this McDonald's, and that I think now this body and this community is more interested in figuring out a way forward. And I just have to take a moment and step back and, say thank you to everyone involved in the conversations over the last 2 months. This is huge. I don't want to minimize anyone's voice here. I want to amplify and acknowledge that every person who called your alderman, every person who called the mayor's office, made social media comments, called me, saw me out at the grocery store and stopped me. And as we had conversations, I would hopefully be able to speak for everyone and say we're taking that into consideration and moving and planning together on how to address food insecurity. And so, again, I just want to go back to what I said at the beginning, that I think you can address the lack of investment in economic development on the west side on one hand, and also address the food insecurity issue on the other. And so that brings me to another question, in that should we move this forward, this incentive for economic development in a corridor that has not had much activity, as everyone knows. Mr. Beach, the alderman of the 10th Ward, said it best earlier. But if we're willing to, and you just stated, address both, then do the and, what's stopping us from moving this forward and bringing forth the proposal from the mobile food grocery store individuals in that committee here in the near future? We can do both. Is there and let me back up, because I know how you may answer this. We certainly have. I don't want to shy away from the fact that we have had meetings. We've certainly had meetings, Director Lies and the mayor and you, Mr. Cagnoni. But I just want to paint this picture for the community that we can do both if the money's available, and I think that the dollars are available to incentivize development as well as address food insecurity at the same time.
Mr. Cagnoni?
Thank you, Your Honor. You know, nothing precludes City Council from doing multiple development agreements. You know, our recommendation related to denial was based on what we've seen historically across the nation in regards to food swamps, where low to moderate income neighborhoods do not have opportunities for healthy food choices. And they end up getting preyed upon by unhealthy food choices by corporate America. And that was our concern here, that it was furthering a food swamp in the general area and was inconsistent with that policy, and why we recommended against the funding of the project. Taken also into consideration is we already did a development agreement on this property, and we generally have not been the backstop in regards to confirming return on investment for developers on whoever they may be. We don't take on that risk. We're not partners in these projects in regards to reaping the financial rewards when they outperform their gaps. And on the same end, we tend to not be the backstop with taxpayer dollars. So those were our concerns.
Sure, thank you.
Mr. Bell, do you have another?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I would love to know, so growing up in the Lewis Lemon neighborhood on Johnston and Jefferson near Carl Pond's funeral home, if you just take a journey with me really quick on Johnston and State, you head west, right, towards Springfield and West State. Okay, so on Johnston and West State, if you know where I'm at. If I go down 4 or 5 blocks, I see on my right side a liquor store, and then I go down a little bit more, 1 more block. To the left, I have a gas station that is branded with liquor items, no fresh food options. I go down just a little bit more, 2 blocks, I see another liquor store, and then I go a little bit further down, and now I'm at West State in Springfield. What I would hope, and what I think individuals in this community would hope to see as a potential commercial corridor that I think it should be, that this McDonald's is looking to come to on the northwest side of that property. And then I go down 2, 3 more blocks and see to my right yet another liquor store in the same neighborhood. And so I just, it brings me to my next question, and maybe we can, obviously, you can get me the answer later on, because I don't think you have it on hand right now. But I would love to know how this council voted on those 4 to 5 liquor stores. Because if we're talking about addressing food insecurity, it should have happened a long time ago. Because growing up, all I had to go to is 4 spots. It was 5 on day in State, but no longer, because of the owner of the property has not activated that space yet. And working with the Department of Economic Development to activate that space. But I took you down that journey because if we're talking about addressing food insecurity, we certainly can. But I don't believe that ignoring a national chain that has been proven to bring more development, to disregard the conversation around the area that we're talking about. So I would, I'm not pushing you to vote a specific way here. I just want us to continue the conversation about increased growth and opportunity on the west side. and address the issues that we talk about. More actionable items, more plans. I've had several conversations with Director Lies and Mayor, City Administrator with other developers about potential development along West State and Springfield. I've been in office for 9 months. I think we've made great momentum in the 13th Ward. I'd hate to see us rescind this or pull back of this investment and stop that momentum. We've had several conversations about potential housing development, potential commercial development. We're investing $65 million in infrastructure in the 13th Ward over the next 5 years, thanks to you all approving the largest capital improvement plan in the city's history just this past December. So again, I go back to the liquor stores that we have. I'd love to get an overview on how that what votes took place, and to see if any members of this body was a part of City Council during that time, because I think that these conversations around incentivizing places or businesses that provide fresh and affordable food could have been in those spots, and we should have blocked the liquor stores from coming to the neighborhood instead of blocking an economic engine or anchor rather, to come to a commercial corridor that has been waiting for a development like this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, Alderman Bonney.
There was a long gap there. I understand. This was already touched on by Administrator Cagnoni, but I just wanted to draw attention back to the fact that 4 of us opposed this initially, but the staff recommendation was against this proposal. And I have all the respect in the world for First Midwest and Mr. Peary and the work that they have done in this community for 40 years. But, I mean, the idea that the council might reconsider a vote is not, it's not, maybe rare, but it's not unheard of. And it has, and the times that we have they've been highly publicized. And I bring up the staff recommendation because I would think that you're a developer, you're on shaky ground when you're going to council with a negative recommendation from staff. And so the idea that that the ground underneath you isn't solid, maybe shouldn't be a surprise. As far as the motions to reconsider go, obviously I'm the maker of the Barbara Coleman motion, and I think that they are warranted from time to time, and not all the time. I mean, sometimes they don't pass. If they don't pass, if the motion to reconsider fails, it probably wasn't warranted. If it passes, it probably was. And I think if aldermen, members of this council have had second thoughts because an issue didn't receive a lot of attention at the time we initially voted on it, and then aldermen began hearing a lot of comment from the public. I don't think that it's, when you weigh that against the message it sends to developers, I mean, I don't know. Do we not listen to public clamor when we take a vote that the public has a hard time understanding our rationale, or do we worry more about what message that sends in the development world? I think they're both valid, but I think we have to weigh those probably on a case-by-case basis. And the bottom line on this one, I think, is that it's and I don't, for me anyhow, it's not about whether the developer McDonald's, the developer McDonald's, it's about the value of the $200,000 investment. And I think that some of us, I think the administration, four aldermen, the public and now perhaps some other aldermen have decided this meal is not a value. This is not worth the investment. It's not going to, could we do something better with this $200,000? And as far as what that might be, I mean, I think that's, I think the answer, the money stays where it is until we allocate it for something else. And any one of us, we don't have to wait for the administration to bring us a proposal on what to do with the $200,000 that we're not giving to this development. Any one of us can formulate a proposal and bring it to council. So I don't think that a motion to reconsider is out of order, and I think that, I would add, I think that we were, for lack of a better term, lectured by Transform Rockford after Barbara Coleman about how we need to trust staff more as a council. And I think we have a negative staff recommendation. We have a significant amount of public feedback. I think that if this vote, to reconsider this vote is not unreasonable. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion on the one item before us? Alderman Salgado.
Thank you, Your Honor, for allowing me to speak. Just want to address a couple things. First, can you help us understand how we got here? I know that we took a vote, reconsidered, layover, and then it got voted, it went through, and then now we're reconsider. Can you walk us through that whole, how we got here with the motions and the reconsider, the layover, and now we're reconsidering again? So how did we get here? Just,
I wouldn't argue with what you said. I would say,
because I asked this question for the public.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten multiple calls, emails, and I want to have the public understand that there is a process, that there is economic development agreements that go into, there's gap funding, there's funding, and so forth. Proposals come through, they come through economic development, they go through the committee, and then we vote on them. So I just want them to understand that this is kind of a discussion that we've been going back and forth, not just once, twice, but multiple times. So I just want to walk us through that process.
Okay. Please, Mr. Cagnoni and Director Hammer. My understanding is that staff provided a recommendation of denial. Then it went to zoning, and it had no? Just straight to codes? Okay.
Because it is an amendment, or P&D, I would defer to Administrator Cagnoni.
All right. Mr. Cagnoni will give you the whole history of.
Thank you.
I was going to refer to the council clerk, Nick, to have us do it. Since it's his first night, we won't. I'm just kidding. So, this came before Planning and Development Committee. Planning and Development Committee had recommended denial. It then came to City Council. There was quite a discussion in regards to whether a yes was a no and a no was a yes, if you may recall, when it was under consideration, understanding there was a recommendation of denial coming out of Planning and Development Committee. For simplicity purposes, an alderman made a motion. After the vote, well, first there was a vote, and it was confusing on what the outcome was, and it didn't have enough votes to carry it either way, frankly, when it got to an ordinance. For convenience purposes, there was an amendment made to recommend, to reverse the denial to approval, which was seconded and approved, so it made a yes, and a no, a no. It was then subsequently laid over by 2 alderman rule. It then came back to City Council 2 weeks later, was discussed and voted upon, and that was the 9-4 vote. Subsequent to that, or last week, there was a motion and a second made to reconsider the vote. That was not acted upon, so that we could comply with the Open Meetings Act. The vote was scheduled for this evening. Should City Council approve the motion to reconsider, It could then be voted on again. Should they deny the motion to reconsider, the previous 9-4 approval would stand.
What he said.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. And that's what, I just want the public to understand that it's a serious conversation. And from that perspective, I both had good conversations, great conversations actually, with citizens and going through phone calls, emails, and then also, reaching out to First Midwest to get their side, because I like to understand what's going on, right? Because I get sometimes just piecemeal pieces of it. I'd like to understand how everything came out. And so some of the clarifications that came out, it's the developers asking for this 200,000 gap funding, whatever it is, commitments that they made. That's understandable. And that's what I kind of got to the point. It wasn't McDonald's is going to get 200,000. I hear that they're going to come potentially, there's more highly probability that they will if we don't give them to 200,000. I did have a good conversation with, and I'd like to disclose this, right? And had a good conversation with Alderman Bell, because it's in his ward. I want to support primarily the 13th, but also the 11th. I'd like to see McDonald's. I'd like to see Starbucks. I'd like to see Dunkin' Donuts. I'd like to see banks. I'd like to see retail. You name it. I want them to come. Please come to the 11th Ward, Midtown District, Broadway Corridor. Take a visit, look how it looks, and I want that development. So from that perspective, I'm jealous that, there could be development in that area. I'd like more housing from my perspective. And I know Ms. Meeks has expressed that as well in her ward, and as most of us, right? So from my perspective, had great conversation with the alderman. From that, I don't envy him for trying to take the money and growth. I think he's trying to do the best he can from that perspective. And from my standpoint, I just want to let the public know, that's why we get paid the big bucks. That I made two different motions when we had the budget process. They could be used against me at any time. It's what I was paid to come out here to do, to solve some of these issues and to bring development and to whatever it is, public safety and so forth. So from my standpoint, I just want everybody to understand I appreciate the conversation we had. I don't think this is a bad thing one way or the other, whether we had 4, whether we had 20 reconsiderations, whatever the case may be. I just think that we need to holistically think for the future, where we want development, how we want development for that perspective, because we've approved $4 million, we've approved $850,000, we've approved $300,000 on different perspectives, right? And so, we have to look at it that way. Set our priorities. What are our priorities? Where do we want to focus ourselves on? And I think, to Alderman Bell's perspective, I think he did a phenomenal job trying to pitch on, hey, don't forget about the west side. Let's start building that momentum, whether it passes, whether it gets denied, right? So I think this is great conversation, which addresses some of the regrow, some of the food insecurity, some of the development that we want to do. I think it brings forefront, just like Alderman Bell has pointed out. I'm hoping that the 11th Ward can see that as well. So thank you for doing that, Mr. Bell, but I just want to make those comments. Thank you. And just real quick.
Sure.
Clarifications, Mr. Cagnoni. Can you tell us again, how, if we vote yes or if we vote no, what does that mean?
So, we have one item before you. If you vote yes, you are voting yes to reconsider it. That means right after that, we will vote on that agreement. If you vote no, you're saying you don't want to reconsider the vote. We've already taken this vote, and it's over. You have no other discussion about it.
Thank you.
Clerk, Alderman Bell.
Thank you. I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the alderman of the 11th Ward. I also want to say thank you to each one of my colleagues around City Council for having the conversations I mean, I know I'm just a young guy, but when I look at the historical conversation, the conversations that have historically been had surrounding at least the area that I represent, I just don't think we've had these robust conversations, and so it has opened the door for us to have conversations about future development. And so regardless on how you vote tonight, I'm committed to continuing to strengthen relationships, work with each one of you to invest in your ward, because investing in each one of our wards is investing in the people and the residents of the city of Rockford. And so no bad blood here, but I do want to just highlight once again, this is about economic development and growth. We will have an opportunity very soon to support an initiative that would provide access to fresh and affordable food very soon.
Thank you. So a yes vote means that you do want it to be reconsidered. A no vote means that it will not be reconsidered. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Logeman. No. Thunberg. Yes. Frost. Yes. Torina. No. Prunty. No. Wilkins. Yes. Hoffman. Yes. Granith. Yes. Beach. No. Salgado. No. Meeks. Yes. Bell. No. Bonnie.
So, that was a 7-6. I'm sorry, I don't want to take your glory.
Yes.
You're doing such a great job.
7 ayes, 6 noes.
Thank you. We have one item before us right now, the same item that we just discussed. Is there any further discussion about that item? Alderwoman Meeks.
I just want to clarify how we're voting.
So if you vote yes, you're voting in favor of providing the $200,000 incentive coming out of 2025 casino plan funds, economic development, high-risk area funds to bring the McDonald's to West State and Springfield. If you vote no, those dollars are not going that way.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, did you, Alderman Bell?
Sure. I mean, I'm just trying to buy time here, guys, for you guys to think. I'm kidding. In all seriousness, obviously, we just took a vote to reconsider this $200,000 of casino funds that are supposed to go to high-risk areas. I would say, should this be overturned or this be taken away from the developer, I would ask for us to be very intentional, as that would signal to this community that we, as a council, heard them and their advocacy after the initial vote, that we would then be very intentional about taking the dollars, should it go through, and moving it over to a specific initiative that would address food insecurity, because that's what the community has been asking for. So should this council feel the pressure of individuals in our community advocating after the vote, and that's where we are now, is we are now voting again on this $200,000 subsidy incentive for development. I just want to make very clear that I would love to have more conversations with each one of you. I would invite you all to the Food Insecurity Task Force meeting that is held monthly, 10:30 a.m. on the second Tuesday at the Rock River Valley Food Pantry. I've attended since way before being elected as alderman. Had a meeting today. We talked about the mobile food grocery store. This community wants us to address food insecurity and economic development. And so however you vote for this item before us now, I would just ask that the outcome reflect what the community wants. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Salgado?
Yeah, just, thank you, Your Honor. Just, I just want to make this for the record. There's been comments about certain aldermen receiving money from the developer. Just want to, for the record, I have not received any cents, any dollars in any of my campaigns or any of that. I just want to be clear for the record. I do want to disclose that I did go to the Paris MBA program at Rockford University and got my MBA there. So that's the only tie that I would have to Mr. Paris and First Midwest from that perspective. I did go to get my MBA there, but just want to make sure that that's on the record because I know there's been a couple people mention that as well, and I just want to be clear that I have not received any money from him. Thank you.
Alderwoman Meeks.
Since we're disclosing, I too have never received any money from First Midwest Group as well. Thank you.
Are we really going to do this? Holy shit. Call the question.
We had our hands up prior to.
Okay. Alderman Bonney, Alderman Bell, and then call the question.
Well, we all know that I have received a contribution from the developer, but for the record, I voted against this. And I'm just curious as to why the alderman for the ward seconded the motion to reconsider and then voted against it and has taken up the majority of the debate on this subject, but not expecting an answer.
Oh.
Thank you. Alderman Bell.
Sure, I'd be very glad to answer because certainly one caught me off guard. Typically, we know this, that should a motion or an amendment come before us, typically it's on our desk like today. But I'll just keep going. Certainly caught me off guard, and while it is in my ward, certainly wanted to give each one of you the opportunity to take another vote. I mean, stand on what you've done previously. Yeah, that's why, to answer him, so.
Stop. No comments from the audience, please.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for the opportunity to discuss development in the 13th Ward for probably now 90 minutes. And so I just hope that we continue the conversations. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, we have one item before us. A yes vote is a yes vote. It means that you will provide, or that we are supporting the incentive out of casino funds for the McDonald's at Westgate and Springfield. A no vote is that you are not. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Logeman. Thunberg. Frost. Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granith. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. 7 ayes, 6 noes.
7 ayes, 6 noes. Okay.
So, Your Honor,
Director Hammer?
Thank you, Your Honor. An ordinance requires 8 affirmative votes to be approved.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on. Alderman Bell?
Yeah, I just really quick, I know we're moving very quick through this. I'm sure there are people watching on the camera who don't understand what just happened. Can you explain, please?
Director Hammer?
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Under the Illinois Municipal Code, 8 affirmative votes are required to approve city council action that involves the expenditure of funds. So because this only received 7 votes, it therefore would come out as a denial.
Thank you. Alderman Bell?
Received 7 yeses and 6 noes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other, Alderman Bonney?
Just out of curiosity, could this be become a subject of a motion to reconsider?
Director Hammer, can we reconsider the reconsider?
I believe under our own rules that an item can only be reconsidered once.
Thank you.
Any other questions? That was kind of a joke. Alderwoman Hoffman.
I'm really confused now. Did it go through or didn't go through?
It did not.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay. So next, we're going to go to new businesses. We're going to skip over that closed session because we're going to go to that in just a moment. Next, we're going to go to new business, Planning and Development Committee, and Alderwoman Wilkins. Alderwoman Wilkins, we're going to Planning and Development Committee under new business.
Sorry, I thought we were in closed session.
We're going to that just in a little bit.
Gotcha. Sorry about that.
No, my apologies.
Item 1 is an ordinance approving the preliminary conditional set-aside letter, which would lead to a rental development agreement with the owner of Rock River One Apartments. The funding source is the Home Investment Partnerships Program and the Community Development Block Grant. Item 2 is an ordinance approving the funding agreement and lease agreement for 713 East State Street with Rockford Area Arts Council for 2026 through 2028 in the amount of $125,000 annually for the total amount of $375,000. The funding source is the city's redevelopment fund.
Thank you. We had already laid over, I believe, item 2, so we only have one item before you. Is there any discussion on that one item? Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Logeman. Aye. Thunberg. Aye. Frost. Aye. Torina. Aye. Prunty. Wilkins. Aye. Hoffman. Granith. Aye. Beach. Aye. Salgado. Aye. Meeks. Aye. Bell. Aye. Bonnie. Aye. 13 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we will go to Finance and Personnel Committee and Alderman Frost.
Thank you, Mayor. Number 1 is an ordinance approving lien waivers for trustee properties to facilitate transfer of properties from the Winnebago County trustee to bidders to the total amount of $4,634.25. The properties include our 517 Oakland Street, 294 Preston Street, 31228. Number 2 is an ordinance.
That's been laid over. Yes. We're going to just vote simply on Finance Item 1, and then I have a feeling Alderman Frost is going to ask that we convene into closed session after that one item. Is there any discussion on the one item before us? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Logeman. Aye. Thunberg. Aye. Frost. Aye. Torina. Aye. Prunty. Aye. Wilkins. Aye. Hoffman. Aye. Granith. Beach. Aye. Salgado. Aye. Meeks. Aye. Bell. Aye. Bonnie. Aye. 13 ayes.
Thank you. Alderman Frost.
Before we move on to number 3 on our, I would like a motion that we convene into closed session to discuss collective negotiating matters.
We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of going into closed session, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, we'll take a brief recess into closed session and be right back. Okay, we are back into open session. We still have a couple of items to go so that we can go. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Logeman. Thunberg. Frost. Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granite. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. 13 present.
Thank you. Alderman Frost with Finance and Personnel Committee, would you please read in those final items?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Number 3 is an ordinance approving a memorandum of understanding with ASME-C regarding the payment of a one-time non-recurring retention incentive to Head Start staff pursuant to the Head Start staff incentive policy using grant funds. If we can call this one, Your Honor, I'd make a motion to suspend Rule 9.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend Rule 9. I'm sorry, did you read both of those?
No, I was just going to take care of this one first.
Can we do both at the same time, or?
As long as it's clear what we're voting.
Okay, we'll take one at a time. That's fine. Sorry about that, Alderman Frost. So we have a motion, we have a second to suspend Rule 9 on item C3. Is there any discussion on just suspending the rule? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay.
Thank you. Your Honor, I will go on to number 4 because it also requires a suspension. So number 4 is an ordinance approving the payment of a one-time non-recurring retention incentive for non-union employees of the City of Rockford Head Start program pursuant to the Head Start staff incentive policy using grant funds. And I'd make the same motion to suspend Rule 9.
We have a motion and we have a second to suspend Rule 9 on item 4. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, just simply on suspending Rule 9, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay.
Thank you. So I'd place items number 3 and 4, actually 1, 3, and 4 before the council.
Thank you. We did vote on
did
1.
one? Okay.
So,
Just
and
3 and
2
4.
was laid over. So we just got 3 and 4 before us.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion on items 3 and 4? Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Logeman. Thunberg.
Aye.
Frost.
Aye.
Torina. Prunty. Wilkins. Hoffman. Granite. Beach. Salgado. Meeks. Bell. Bonnie. 13 ayes for items 3 and 4.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn? We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.